We are going to go look at a deck that I was working on a little bit last night. It's just a Wealth Beatdown deck, which, I mean, come on, that's a flavor win, right? That's kind of perfect. Oh, nope, I wanted to work it a little bit. Collection decks. This one. Edit. Yeah. So there are a couple cards that I just opened that I think could belong in here. Private Garden Highwayman. A 1-mana 2/2 that is Vigilant, and a 1-mana 2/2 that is Sneaky. This is a deck that is a mid-range large butts deck. It is, you put big stuff that is overstated for the cost on the board over and over and over, and hope that you can effectively pulp your opponent's face with it. So I think all of these cards belong in there. What do we take out? We have way too many 1-drops now, so I'm probably going to take out Informed Settler. I kind of like, because I think it's important to have ways to protect your development the next turn. So if we go from, like, you know, turn 1, we pop this down into a turn 2, like, using this as an example, Tapper and Calf. If they have to go through the Settler first, then that means we can get a free attack with the Calf in on face before they can do anything about it. Servant, I think, is... I see, like, Servant versus Taraki Villager is one that I need to understand the card pool a little bit better to make a call on. Shiv, we can probably go down to 1. I'm going to take out... Let's take these out. So our curve is pretty flat in the early game, and then tapers off from there, because we want to make sure we get a board presence on early, and then can use that board presence... yeah, let's do close. Use that board presence to snowball the board control in our favor, and then hit them in the face a whole bunch. Exactly the kind of deck I like playing. So hop into casual, because right, it doesn't exist yet. And get a match pretty quick. Nice. Okay. This is very good. Having a 5-drop in our dedicated pile so that we can pull it out later. We have a nice 1-drop that we can drop soon. I'm going to ship the 3, hoping to find another 1-drop. Nope, we just found the same thing. Oh, man. Dedicate the 5, because we're not going to get it anytime soon. Okay, getting rid of that is not the biggest deal in the world. They're against Joytick, who I believe is also streaming right now, right? That's Wave. What's up, buddy? I do wish we got to see what's in their dedicated pile. I understand why not, but it would be kind of nice. Okay, he's playing 1/1. Sure. A little bit of a bummer. Would have liked to see a 2 there. We're going to play the 2 3s next turn. I have a leader choice. Just want to attack all of our characters is nice, but seeing as we're playing a 3/1, it can just get pinged down, which makes me a little apprehensive of doing that. So instead, I'm going to just get my board nice and embiggened. And again, this is a beatdown deck, so whenever we have the opportunity to go face, we are very likely to do so. Red's main board clear that we need to be aware of right now. This is one that does 2 to all of our things and 1 to all of his for 3 mana, which he can use because he has the amulet, or at 3 cost, not for 3 mana. He would have to expend the amulet, and then we can rebuild pretty well with 1 tall threat, and from what I've seen, there isn't a lot of spot removal, so I think we'd be able to go ahead and do the thing. Okay, he has a Shiv, so we can trade up. We're fine with that. He's not attacking. Okay. That's fine. So a 4-mana 5/5. This is a card when I was opening cards yesterday that made me think this deck is a good idea. Cannonball is very expensive, so we can get rid of that very, very happily. We are going to use the luxury equipment to buff up our 3/1 because it's, you know, very, very not sturdy. And this is why I think all of these Vigilant cards are incredibly important. We have this large threat that he just doesn't really have access to unless he has direct damage. Move this down. There we go. So I'm really curious to see what he's got cooking, such that he decided not to attack. Also, interestingly, when we were doing the campaign, we had leader decisions on 2, 4, and 6. On this leader, we have them at 2, 5, and 6 instead. He's getting some nice trades after getting some damage down onto my guard. Fine with that. Yep, and more removal. Cool, cool. So he's going to have to draw more removal next turn, because more likely than not, we're going to draw a handful of cards we're able to play. He's using the amulet. He's using the amulet so that he can get a full clear. I like that. Well played. Okay. Protection is like ward from Tessel or barrier from Hearthstone. That means it gets to get 1 smack for free. It's exactly the kind of card we like in this deck. It's nice and chunky and hard to deal with unless you have hard removal, which I think is pretty limited in this game from the little bit that I've seen, which means that this has a good likelihood of sticking around. And then next turn, we're going to get a decision. We can either get 2 goods and draw a card. Goods are important because we do a lot of self-mill, or we can just get a big old thing. It'll depend a lot on whether or not we think we can close the game out the next turn. On 6, we can either destroy something, which is really nice to get through a blocker, or we can summon one of these guys that is a payoff for all the self-mill that we do as a way to fund all of our overstated creatures so far. So we have some pretty neat payoffs in this deck. I like the way this one runs. The double Shiv gives me a little bit of worry, but we are at a lot of health, so it's not too bad. Let's see. So we can kill that if we need. How much damage do we have? 5, 7, 9. That's all. Cool. And we can get 2 goods or a 5/5. I kind of want to get the goods. I'm not certain on that though. I think we can get rid of the apparition. Use our choice. He doesn't have any mill, so I think actually go ahead and getting the 5/5 is fine. But to be careful of how many cards we play. We don't actually need to play another card right now. Attack? That was strange. Did it attack? Maybe it did. I'm not sure what happened there. So we're looking at lethal next turn. We have some reach with the Shiv. He gets +3 attack. Okay, he gains 3 health. That's fine. We can still do that much. Can trade up. That's still fine. I think he's used all of his plays for the turn, too. It's looking good. It's looking good. Yep, he dedicates. It's looking good. One time. Yeah, we got him. Good game. Hit for 7, hit for 2. Here we go. Boom. And that is exactly how that deck wants to operate. It's actually a very, very good example game for that deck, where it wants to get a board presence early with large oversighted things and snowball that board presence kind of as uncontested as possible. That said, he was packing very little interaction, so not all games go that smoothly. With the coins that we got from that game, we can go ahead and buy another pack. And what are we here for if not opening packs, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. The best part of card games, right, is collecting it. Let's see what we got. And then 2 more after this, we get another guaranteed yellow pack. Let's see. Add manuscripts to your hand. Could be good. I'm still not sure one or the other. We just saw why this card was good. Getting a 2/2 on turn 1 is very strong. Invoke a Shiv and gain +1 play for the turn. I feel like that's probably good, right? The Shiv draw a card. That's probably nuts if you're playing like a extra plays kind of deck. It just ends up being a free 1/2 draw. Start of your turn, invoke an Orgonite. Orgonite is give +1 health to a target and gain +1 play. All right, I can see that. Ooh, 2/5 for 4 though. Not sure. Let's play some more. So how's everyone out there doing? Curious to see how long it takes us to find a match. I imagine it won't be all too bad. We'll find out. And if it takes more than, 1 or 2 minutes, we can just go into an AI match. Yeah, Joytech is also streaming. Nice. Good stuff. Yep, this game's cool. I am enjoying it. I think it'll be really interesting to see how the game develops. Some of the mechanics still do give me a little bit of pause. Mill being a core mechanic is potentially dangerous, but it depends on if they can balance it well, then I think it'll be totally fine. And there's no reason to expect them not to be able to balance it, so that's still totally up in the air. How do I feel about its competitive potential? I don't know. I don't see a reason why it couldn't have good competitive potential. There are some games you see it and you're like, nah, there's too much randomness. There's not enough mechanical support for competition and agency in the game. I think this game has a high degree of agency because your deck is very consistent. Because you draw so many cards every turn, you're more likely to see all of the cards in your deck. So that does mean that your deck building gets rewarded and it is immediately more consistent than it is in other games. On the other hand, there have been games that are too consistent and the competitive scene suffered for it. When your decks end up becoming very linear and it's GG at deck creation, not at play, then that can be an issue. So I think it will depend very significantly on how open the deck building is. And I haven't seen anything to indicate that it is restrictive enough to be a problem. I think it's probably going to be fine, but that said, I don't know that much of the card pool yet, so it's really hard to say. Overall, I think there's no reason to count it out. I think it has potential to be a competitive game. It will take time to see if it can draw enough people in order to support that. I know there have been some concerns about whether or not card acquisition is fast enough to maintain players' interest long enough in order to get them enfranchised into the game. Whether or not that plays out, I still don't really know. Again, I haven't been playing long enough to see how that'll go. So, you know, who knows? It will be very interesting to see whether or not players end up liking it enough to warrant building a competitive scene. Yeah, totally. Competitive stuff is kind of where I care the most because I am largely... The thing I like most about card games is tournament casting. I like casting and hosting tournaments. So that is always very much at the forefront of my mind when a new game is on the block. Is, will there be a tournament scene? And if so, how do I get in? Okay. So we do have to go through that, which is a little bit of a bummer. Hey, we draw another 2. I love that. So we're gonna bop that. Because? No, I didn't mean to click that. I meant to click away. I was gonna say, because we have initiative, that means we can play our stuff out and then give everything +1 attack. That would have been nice. But instead, I'm just gonna get it on the one thing instead. Oh, bummer. I think attracting the players is the biggest challenge for these small card games. I agree 100%. When you don't have a large marketing budget and a bigger name behind you in order to make it happen, then attracting players can be very difficult. Yeah, I can bring that. Dedicate it. Play here. Value trade. These are both 3/1 sneaks, so it's kind of not much of a difference. Difference is this one can theoretically be healed, but we don't need to trade because we have this vigilant creature blocking our other threats. So we're good for now. They get an apparition again. And another one. Cool. So we get to just continue our beatdown plan. This is exactly where our deck wants to be. Oh, they have a choice on 3. 2 friendly targets and draw a card in game, +1 for the turn. That was a weird choice. They should not have done that. Okay. I mean, sure. I'll just beat them down then. I mean, I'll take it. By the way, for anyone watching, I also have a YouTube channel. So if you are interested in checking out my content again in the future, Nightbot's not working. Yeah, if you go to this link, you will find my YouTube channel where I have uploads on card games pretty frequently. So, and this will also be going up on my YouTube as well. So if you missed part of the stream and want to check out the rest of it, you can find it there. So options, we kill them. That's always the best option, right? That's how you want this to go. Just smack. Give him the old smack. We'll do one more game against the AI, and then see if we can find a match with a person. Get rid of the highly expensive things. These 1-mana 1/2/2s are really good in this kind of deck. I really am happy that I opened them. This is the same guy. Same AI, that is. Cool, we can deal with that. We can deal with that very easily. So I actually think I want to keep this. And the reason for that is because what I'm going to do is dedicate this. I'm going to get a value trade. Play this stuff. and then use my power to buff it all up. Now my board is very scary. What this means next turn is I have very good insurance against board wipes after Amulet, because I can play this, still have 2 cards, 2 plays left for the turn. That means 1 dedicated going up to 3 cause. I can play all 3 cards if I draw 2 other cards that are 3 or less cause. And yes, the protection on the Solani Courtier is very nice. I would prefer to be able to flood the board again if my board gets wiped. In this case, it didn't, so that wasn't too much of an issue. But those are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about when I'm sequencing my plays. The 3/1 is kind of not worthless, but it's harder to use well here. This can get traded into next turn no matter what. Do I care about pushing 3 damage, or do I want to make space? Seeing as I'm expending a lot of my own cards, I think I'm happier going face, maintaining my deck size by not expending the extra 1 for the Private Guard, because I think this board is plenty strong already anyway. Okay, Devout gets them 2 health. Yep, they get a choice on 3. We saw that last time. One of them was Sacrifice, which would be bad for him. Okay, sure, fine. Man, he healed a lot there. 3, 6, 9, 11, 13. Nope, nothing I can do here. Okay. So we will burn the Shiv because we don't need the extra damage right now. Kind of want to get the Grey Wolf online so I can make this trade here to free up the slot. I can roll the damage, get the Grey Wolf. So, expending them sort of removes them forever, Euphrat. However, what you can do is there are many cards that have the keyword restore? Gather. There are cards that have the keyword gather. What that does is move things. So first of all, expend sends them to your graveyard, discard pile, whatever you want to call it in this game. Cards that let you gather, move them from your graveyard back to your deck. So they are gone forever if you do not have any cards that allow you to gather. But if you do, then they are reclaimable to some degree. Hopefully that answers the question. Cool. Let's see if we can get another one against a human. Casual. Mind match. That was good. Yeah, we got him. Got one real quick. Who are we against? Someone who was also playing Wealth. Dragon Rider. Okay, we got one of the 2/2s. I'd like to find another one if possible. I think I can actually get rid of him. Dig for another 1-drop. Didn't quite get there. I play first. That's good. Hey, there we go. This is a very strong opening. Awesome. So now if we draw anything overstatted, we have very good protection for it, from combat that is. Can still be targeted by removal, but you know, that's always going to be a potential. Oh, we have to say hello. So we're gonna see what kind of deck he is based on his opening. I really do wish we could see what the opponent dedicates. But given that we can play those cards later, that would mean we could basically peek into their hand, so I can understand why we can't. Okay, he's going to immediately use the amulet, which makes a lot of sense. He gets to play a card and also get something onto the board. If he didn't get anything onto the board, he would be very far behind. So I can very much understand the desire to get something going now. Yeah, that's a very solid play for my opponent. Which one? Impressive. We're gonna play. Now we can just play both actually, because what we can do is we can also give our things +1. We can make this attack. This is gonna get a value trade, nothing we can do about that. But that means that these 7 points worth of damage that we can push next turn are still protected. That's why I think Vigilance are very important in aggressive decks. It's something that, if you're from Tessel, Endozoa taught me kind of early on, was that defensive creatures in your board-based decks are very important because it means that they cannot respond the way they want to. And being able to dictate the flow of the game on your pace, not on theirs, gets kind of nutty. One thing this deck does lack is burn. We don't have any reach. We have some. We have very little. So it is not always the easiest to close out a game if they can reclaim board control. That's really bad for it. Oh, what? Okay. That sucks. But you know, it is what it is. We still get to push damage. The board is still loosely in our favor, so if we can draw another Vigilant. Nope, that's okay. Highwayman I kind of want to keep. Ooh. Equipment. We put equipment onto Courtier, it's really good. That also, keeping Hitman attack I think is kind of important. This is an interesting play, because I think we are likely going to want to keep this around to not allow him to get trades into our stuff in the next couple turns. Yeah, that doesn't really do a lot for us right now. Let's play the Courtier. Let's play the equipment. Equipment, we don't know what we want it to go onto yet. Sure, we could push an additional 2 damage, but it would just get traded. Wait, +2/+2. No, it wouldn't get traded into. So it only has 2. Awesome. Awesome. And now we have Hitman attack to follow up next turn as a way to get through any Vigilance he would play, or as a way to disable his ability to react with board presence. He's going to play a luxury equipment from his dedicate pile. That's great. What is he going to put the equipment on? It has to go onto, yeah. That pretty much had to happen. Great, we get 2 for 2 there. Cannonball is some of our only reach, and the reason we run it is because we can get it, we can always dedicate it and get it out of our dedicate pile later in the game. Do I want to attack into that, or to Hitman attack into that? Maybe? Next turn, we will get to get a 5/5, which is nice. I think we do. Because this keeps the protection on our Courtier, and then also keeps it from being interacted with the turn afterward even further by having the Vigilant on board. I think that was the right play. And if he does deal with our board now, that means that between our choice giving us a 5/5, this coming down next turn, and potentially another chonk coming down from what we draw, we could have a very difficult board to deal with next turn if we draw well. Even if we don't draw well, even if we just get like, you know, a 2-3 or something like that, that's still a large board to deal with. And that's another thing, he already used one of his cards from his dedicate pile, so he doesn't have as much cause as we do, so he's a cause behind. He's not even going to play anything that interacts with our board. Love it! Crossbow is another sort of form of reach that we have. I'm actually going to play that this turn. Crossbow is going to come down. It's going to deal 2 to him. The reason I'm doing that is because on 6, we have our cannonball that can come through. So if he heals a little bit, we can ping him back down. We are going to give us the goods so that we can avoid milling out. 4/3 protection is super good. And we're in real good shape. We're in real good shape. It's weird planning ahead when you get a new hand all the time. You have to know your deck very well. Yes, I think that is going to be one of the very emblematic decision points in this game. Is like one of the most interesting expressions of skill in this game is going to be how you sequence things and how you plan ahead given that you're going to draw like 4 cards. I think you're bang on with that. Oh no. Oh, you might have well played it, yeah. This game went very, very well. I think there's a pretty good chance that we are probably some of the only people playing with a constructed deck, not a pre-constructed deck, not one of the beginner decks. So I feel a little bad about that. I think it's probably a little bit of a deck mismatch going on, but it's still nice seeing your deck do the thing it's meant to do. Hey, we got another game. It was easy. Nice. I think this is the green deck, if I'm not mistaken. We're against Joystick again. Nice. This is a full ship. We really want to find one of our 1-drops. Thank you, Euphrat. Have a good night. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate it. Okay, we didn't get one of our 1-drops, so we did get the amulet to help us kind of curve out a little bit better. There we go. That's much better. Do we even amulet then? We do. Here's why. We amulet. We settler. We use the amulet. That lets us get apparition. And that also lets us get the guard. That's a pretty solid turn 1, I think. I think that turn 1 is very workable. The amulet allowing you to use your leader choice on turn 1 is kind of nuts. Okay, they're just cycling real good. All right, cool. Solid play for him. So their choices are on 3, 4, and 6. What are they working with? You can get a 1/4 Vigilant or destroy support. Are we going to want to remove? Maybe? Probably not. Maybe I'll just go Taproot and Settler. Use our sneaky ability to be able to get that chip damage in. Feels good, feels good. What does their bureaucracy do? Destroy a support and then your opponent expends 1. We don't have a support for them to destroy, so they will probably get the 1/4 Vigilant. Man, they have a lot of cards in their deck that lets them go through their deck pretty quickly. Yep, they're gonna get the 1/4 as expected. Okay, let's see. Get up to 3. So I think we're gonna be on Throwing Axe and Courtier, so we can get rid of that. Throwing Axe comes down. We're gonna bop that. Value trade. Regular trade. Damage. And body. Cool. I like that turn. I'm happy with that. They get another choice here. What do they got? Okay. When it takes damage, your opponent expends 1. That's a little rough because we're doing a lot of expending on our own. But also, we're just trying to kill them. So that's probably okay. It's a bummer. So their deck's pretty milly. Mm-hmm. We're fine getting rid of those. On 5, we will very likely want to grab our goods so we can cycle back in. Cannonball, easy, easy burn. Let's see. I think we actually want to play the Servant because we don't have a way to protect the apparition right now. That's sneaky and can mill us. I don't really want him milling us a lot more, and this is a very, very free trade, so I'm probably just going to take that. It does kind of hurt me not pushing damage through. I think damage is really important when we're basically in a race against can they mill us. But given that we're going to be able to shuffle a whole bunch back in next turn, I think it's probably okay. We also still have the Cannonball that can be 4 points of reach for us. So really, instead of, they're already at 10, basically, is how you can think of that if you want. Start of your turn, healed 2. That will not stand. Don't like that at all. Can we kill them? 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not quite. Okay. So Apparition can go because we don't have any way to protect. We are going to get the goods because we're afraid of milling. We're going to use them both. Oh, we have both plays still. Grey Wolf, they can't really kill. Like luxury equipment first. Buff this up so he can't really do anything to get rid of it. Send this all face. That was meant to go face, but you know what? That's fine too. They're going to heal by 2. By 3? By 2. Yeah. We have a very good board. What is their leader choice here? Gather to expend 2. Health of enemy characters to 1. Oh, that's bad. They're going to have to do that. Which means they can trade into 2 of our things, but not all of them. So we can still have 2, 5. Oh no! Oh no, that's really bad. Let's give them that well played. That's really bad. Uh-oh. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. Deal 1 to all enemy characters. I don't want to expend 2. What's in here? Deal 4. Just getting a 4-3 is good. First things first, we're gonna get a Desert Blade. And then we're gonna get a 4-3 with protection. And then we can't expend 2. I don't think that's reasonable. So they'd have to trade everything into our 7-5. Man, that board clear was rough. That hurt. Okay, that's one play that doesn't deal with the board. Okay, they can get one more play. That still doesn't do it. Health of enemy characters to 1. Dang, that really sucks. What? No, you trade that, buddy. 100% you trade that. That was a strange choice. I do not agree with that. We have an amulet? What? I don't know why you have that. I think with Hitman and Cannonball we got it? No, I can't do that more than once a turn. Okay, that's fine. I might have screwed up by playing that. Okay, I didn't know you can only do that once per turn. That's fine. If we can get an attack and the cannonball next turn, then we win. That has Vigilant. That's an issue. Like, deal 1 to all enemy characters. Sucks a lot. No, buddy, you have to trade. What? Does he have more plays? He doesn't have more plays, does he? Okay. This also has Sneaky, so I have to dedicate. I get the cannonball. Fire the cannonball. Yeah! Got him! Nice. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's do one more game. We'll do one more. We're against Lurzuax. Cool. Throwing axe is a reluctant keep, I think. This is something that I'm really looking to dedicate away. No 1-drops. For the first time, no 1-drops, so we can't snowball as hard as we have been. Oh, we play second, though. That's very nice, because that means we can get 2 2-drops on the field. Get the Taparent and the Throwing Axe and our 2-2. Gonna cycle. And do nothing. Okay. Hey, we got a 1-drop. Awesome. Play the amulet. Activate the amulet. Play the guard. Play a Taparant. Play the 2/2. Big body board. Yes, that's what we like to see. Does have a fistful of cards though. What's this choice? Invoke a 2/3 and we take damage, or invoke a 3/1 sneaky. I don't care about either of those. Either one of them, I'm just going face. And the 2/3, I may throwing axe and then trade with the Taparant. Yep. This is the end of each leader's turn. Oh, he would take a damage too. Ah. No, my board. That's fine. Not a big deal. It's a good one to know exists. Play the axe. Axe him in the face. And defend our Taparant. What was that? That was Withered Air. Deal 2 to all targets. Okay. That's in green. Nifty. Lacey. How's it going? Did you subscribe to Lacey? Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Good to have you around. How's it been? We're playing some Causa. This is a game that's coming out next week. They were kind enough to invite me into one of their little streaming events, so we're having some fun. Thank you so much, Lacey. That's really nice of you. What do these do? Wait, there's sushi you can eat when you're pregnant? Really? Oh man, one of my other friends, named Sophie, who was in the chat earlier, is also pregnant right now, and she would probably lose her mind to hear that. Well, this sucks. We're gonna play that for sure. Probably that too? No, probably not that. Probably that. What are we at right now? We're at 2 dedications, so yeah, we can get rid of this. Absolutely playing that. And we're playing the 2/2 or the guard. These are going face. I think it's the 2/2. Is it sneaky? Veggie sushi. Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would do it. Well, it's a bummer you came now. This is actually probably going to be our last game because I'm getting hungry, so I'm probably going to do food myself soon. So, oh my god, Lacey, your kid is so cute. It's ridiculous. Sushi is phenomenal. I would love to. I think we're doing salmon tonight, so I am excited. Salmon's delicious. What did they do? Destroy a card, then take 3 damage. Okay. Well, 2 to all. Bummer. I'm in danger. Can't play that yet. So that has to go. I'm dead. Cool. How do I surrender? There we go. Cool. Dude, salmon's bomb. All right, cool. So we went through the campaign that's available, opened a whole bunch of packs, played some games. It's been a good stream. I am going to call it here because hunger is calling. Thank you everyone so very, very much for joining. Lacey, thank you for subscribing. You were the second person that has ever subscribed to me, right after my brother. So you'll always have that. Yeah, this has been a whole lot of fun. You can check out Causa at playcausa.com, or you can join their Discord. They're super nice. It's a company called Niebla Games from Chile. They're very, very nice and responsive. Highly suggest you check it out. Game comes out on May 26th. You can add it to your wish list on Steam now if you're interested in the game. So go do that. Head to the Discord, let them know who sent you, and yeah, that'll be about it. So thank you everyone so very much. Have a good night.